All right, Bueller and Dodge and Kevin, the Motown phenom Lee, riding a 5-5 win streak, taking on Tony Ferguson for the interim lightweight title this Saturday at UFC 216. Kevin, thanks for joining us. How you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm smooth. You know, just getting the day started. So we getting it off to on the right foot.
I like that.
So you got your opponent after a appearance on UFC Tonight, post-fight night 112, where he was a guest analyst. You two kind of got into it after you were questioning his ability to ask some questions and analyze the fight, as well as him telling you to kind of wait in line. Seemed like all hell broke loose during that interview. What was going through your head?
Yeah, I just wasn't going to take the disrespect, you know. I didn't really care where it was, if it was just him listening or if it was 100 million people listening. For him to try and downplay me and, you know, say all this, like, look, I've been working on my DDT defense since then. So, look, it just wasn't going to be no disrespect without me retaliating on it.
Do you think that when the UFC sets up these show interviews and they have a fighter like yourself and then an analyst who's also in the same weight division as the fighter being interviewed, that they're kind of hoping for something like this to happen?
I mean, maybe. The UFC is smart. I mean, they're great promoters. They know what they're doing.
Right.
So maybe, but I really, maybe it was just it happened to be the luck of the draw. I think he's done a few other ones like that or something like that. But you know, I don't know. I don't know if that was the first time that's happened or if they just keep setting that up. I don't know. To be honest with you, I really don't pay much attention to it.
So you didn't know that he was going to be one of the analysts on the show when you were doing the interview ahead of time?
Well, I saw that he had that they asked him to do like a pre-fight piece, and he had Mike winning the fight. And I'm like, come on, man. You know damn well Mike didn't stand a chance in that fight. So that kind of irritated me a little bit. Then he was talking about how much I'm training at Mayweather and pulling off the Mayweather style. And then that irritated me a little bit. But then when I heard his voice, then I just got irritated even more. So, you know, and now when we on the conference call, he's trying to downplay, oh, you only beat Mike. Well, you had Mike winning the fight. So how can you say only? You know, I don't know. He's just a weird dude. He ain't that smart.
Well, he is on a 9-fight win streak, the longest in the division. What are you doing? I mean, I saw a recent interview where he talked about all he has is toughness and confidence. What are you doing to prepare for that toughness and confidence?
Yeah, I mean, he brings a certain set of skills, but it's mostly his heart and his toughness that get him through a lot of these fights. He gets his ass whooped for the first round, and then the guy starts to get sick of hitting him. He kind of got like the Homer Simpson going on. So all I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep hitting his ass. I'm just going to keep hitting his ass for 5 rounds. I prepared for 5 rounds. I prepared for more than 5 rounds. I'm ready to go. So, I'm just going to stick to the game plan. I'm going to show that I'm a smarter fighter, and that's what a real championship-level fighter does. You got to stick to the game plan regardless.
So you say he's got a certain set of skills, but he's no Liam Neeson then, huh?
Yeah, nah. I mean, he's trying all these weird shit and all this, you know, jumping around and flipping and cartwheeling and all this. And look, if he try anything like that against me, I'm gonna make him pay for each one of those. I think he's doing all that because he's trying to make up for the basics that he don't have down.
So this is for the interim title belt, but you're saying you don't consider it the interim title, right?
No, of course not. Like I said, the guy walking around with the title has got 1 fight in the division, and it's Eddie Alvarez. And Eddie ain't looked good since he came over to the UFC. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. This is for the real championship. Tony's got 12 wins in this division. I've got 10 wins. We've been through, you know, the who's who of the 155-pound division. So it really does show who's the real champion and who is the rightful owner.
You got other guys in this division, though, that are kind of up above. You got Eddie Alvarez, you got Justin Gaethje, obviously you got Khabib, all in the 155 mix, and obviously you got Conor coming back, saying that he's going to be defending that belt. But you're also saying that rankings don't matter, and it kind of as fans we see this to be true a little bit, where the UFC's just kind of throwing whatever sticks at the wall and whatever is going to make them for ratings instead of rankings. But I mean, do you think this ship will be righted when you come in and you say you're going to win this title?
Yeah, I thought I was the right fight to make anyway. They offered it to Khabib, but the man just don't want to fight. None of these dudes want to fight. So at the end of the day, after this one, I'll be number 1. So, if you're saying the rankings don't look after this one, then I'll be number one. Then I'll defend against number two, or I'll defend against number three, or whoever thinks they're behind me. But to me, the rankings don't really matter too much. It was the timing of the situation too. You know, you got Justin and Eddie that are about to beat themselves into retirement. They both out there already slurring their words, so I don't think they're gonna be around for very long. You got Khabib, who don't want to fight nobody. Nate, who only looking for Conor. So you know, it only made the right timing.
Does it kind of seem like if they offered the fight to Khabib and then he said no, and then they offered it to you, do you feel like a second choice prom date, or do you feel like this is your time to shine?
No, I feel like it's just that was the fight to make. I mean, I knew that they weren't going to put together Khabib and Tony. And that's why I was calling out Khabib myself, because I wanted that fight. You know, Khabib's the easier fight, if I'm being honest with you. I'd rather take the easier fight than having to fight Tony. But I knew they weren't going to make that fight. So, you know, I took my opportunity for what it was. They talk about I'm talking my way into a title shot. And I said yes. They called me. They said, "Do you want to fight Tony?" I said, "Hell yes." Nobody else would say yes. Everybody else is running from it. You know, nobody else wants to fight Tony Ferguson.
So you guys were all recently at this media lunch, and we saw two different videos. We saw, obviously, Tony's video where he got into a little bit of a scuffle and argument with Fabricio Verdum, and then we saw you sitting next to DJ where he's talking about all the food he's eating, and you have to sit there and eat lettuce. Did you feel like you needed to get into a scuffle?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, look, it's stuff like that. It's got to be organic. You know what I mean? It's got to be how you really feel. DJ, he cool people. He a nice guy. You can't say nothing bad about Demetrius Johnson. Come on, he on the verge of making history too. I used to fight on his undercard, so I cannot say anything bad about Demetrius. I think Tony, he just selling them wolf tickets. He wasn't really going to fight Fabricio. The same way as when he came up to me at International Fight Week, he walks up to me with nothing but PR and security guys around us, and I DM'd him after. I'm like, bro, just come to my house. Like, nobody will break it up. Like, we can get it in if you really want to fight. But, you know, he just barking and with no bite.
I was trying to make that money fight happen. I don't know. You say nobody can say anything bad about DJ, but he was kind of throwing the fact that he's eating Oreos in your face while you're eating lettuce. I mean, that's
yeah, I mean, true. Look, I let them have it after that. But, you know, come on. They tried to give us a little rundown because I guess that was the same place that Tony and Fabricio got into it. And I just let them know. I'm like, listen, DJ, you don't want these problems. I mean, come on. It'd be like David and Goliath out there. And
All right, we know we're kind of running short on time. Got a couple more questions for you. One is the headbands that we see you wearing off and on during a lot of the pressers and media events. Is that a style you're trying to get going? Is that going to be your trademark headband?
You know, no. I mean, I just like to change up my style every now and again. You might give me wear a lot of stuff. You know, I ain't really much of a suit and tie, and you know, I leave the $100 suits to Tony to wear, so that he shows off that to the folks. You know, all the 40-year-old men out there with nothing to look up to. But I like to change up my style every now and again, show the folks a little flair.
I thought it had something to do with martial arts, but I didn't see any like Taekwondo or anything in your background, so that's why I had to ask that. One more question for you.
No, it was a go fuck yourself headband. It was from Supreme, so I don't know if that's martial arts or you know what.
I like it.
Maybe I will today during the media.
I'll dig it. All right. One more question for you, man. Something we ask all the fighters that call into the show. It's a who would win in a fight question from Dodge.
All right, Kevin. Who's going to win in a fight? A bear with machine guns for hands and feet, or a pterodactyl that poops chainsaws?
Oh, the pterodactyl for sure. You know, just because he got vantage points. You know what I mean? Like, I done played a couple video games. You always say a brother guy, so I'm going with the pterodactyl. You know, you ever try to shoot a bird? That shit hard as hell. That shit hard as hell. I tried. They tried to take me out hunting before, man. Oh, fuck that.
That is the show I would watch. Kevin Lee Goes Hunting.
Yeah, Kevin Lee Goes Hunting is your next A&E special.
Once. No. I went hunting. I don't go hunting. I went hunting. Look, that's a one and done.
I love it. Right on, man. Thanks for your time. Kevin, the Motown Phenom Lee, is fighting this Saturday at UFC 216 for the belt up against Tony Ferguson. Thanks for being on the show. We wish you the best of luck, man.
My man.